Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you all here today, wherever you are in the world, wherever you're joining from. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm excited to be here with you all to bring this weekly collective card reading to the group. And I usually offer this on Sunday mornings in the Western Hemisphere. So it's fun and new for me to be offering this at this day and at this time of day. So welcome Olivia. My sister's name is Olivia. Lovely name. So if you are new to me and you care to say hello, you can bring your voice into the room with a comment or even just with an emoji or a heart if you care to. Welcome Sharma Lee. Glad to have you. For those who don't know, I'm Natalie, spiritual life coach and Reiki master teacher. I've been teaching here on Insight Timer almost 5 years, which is unbelievable and wonderful and amazing. So the purpose of this live stream today is we're going to be diving deep into what I call spirit messages, where we're just going to be looking at the collective energy for the week, collective messages for who's here. And depending on how many people join, if we have a more intimate group, I may draw cards for individuals, but usually this is just a collective reading. Well, not just, but a reading for whoever is here. And like I said, if we have a more intimate group today, I will feel into the possibility of drawing individual cards. So we will go with the flow. Welcome back, Danielle. Great to have you back again from my sort of native South Carolina. So yes, welcome, Brooke. Wow. First card reading. Does that mean ever in your entire life, or is that an Insight Timer in this sort of format, or anywhere? Ever. Wow. Hi, Elena. You were born in Beaufort. Wow. I didn't know that. Great. We've got some South Carolina represent. Wonderful, Brooke. So the way the collective reading works is that, I tune into the energy of everybody that's here right now. And also, if you happen to see this as a replay, that also applies to you. So, the way it works is the information is for whoever is here live, and if you are also watching the replay, it's for you. So yeah, small world. I grew up in Greenville, South Carolina, if there's any other South Carolina connections here. So I always start with bringing Michael Singer into the room, bringing his voice in, and doing that with his Untethered Soul cards. He's so grounding and such a powerful teacher and presence. So I did already draw that card. And for those of you, if you don't know who Michael Singer is, please say something. I'll explain him to you. Welcome, Dawn. Glad to have you. Ooh, Brooke, another South Carolina. So Danielle, thank you for speaking yourself at your location into the room here. So Michael Singer is best known for this book, The Untethered Soul, modern spiritual classic. He has also written his memoir, The Surrender Experiment, that I would highly recommend. I'd recommend them all. And the memoir is really, it's a story. So this one is more of spiritual teachings that are very deep and profound. And this is his life story, in the lens of spiritual teachings as well. So totally, anything and everything's possible, Danielle. His third book is Living Untethered, and now he has a fourth one that's coming out. I don't even know anything about it. So, but what he says to us today, so this is for anybody here, or as I said, anybody hearing the replay. So just pause and take a breath and take in this spiritual wisdom from Michael Singer. When you feel pain, simply view it as energy. Let go and give room for the pain to pass through you. When you feel pain, simply view it as energy. Let go and give room for the pain to pass through you. So if anybody is in pain right now, this message is definitely for you. Viewing pain as energy, allowing it to have space to be and to move through you. And this could be physical pain or emotional pain, or if you have mental pain as well. So I forgot to say it earlier. If you are new here and you don't already, I would love if you would give me a follow here in Insight Timer. You can also join my group here called Natalie's Healing Circle and Insight Timer, where we can stay in touch between live streams. And you can also listen to my many meditations, and I have a couple talks on here as well, both in the free and premium plus section of the app. So please check all that out if it's helpful and supportive. You can also follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and check out my website, and you can find all of that in my teacher profile. Here in Insight Timer. Here is my follow card. I'll pop that up on the screen. I've got a couple new meditations. This one is in the premium track, Set Yourself Free from the Past, Forgive, Love, and Let Go. So if you have a problem with shame, if you have a problem with forgiving yourself, letting go, that meditation was for you. If you like long sleep meditations, I have an 8-hour cozy all-night sleep journey. And I also have a 12-hour sleep track in the free section of my meditations. So our next live stream after this, I will share as well. It's called When You Can't Go Back, but Don't Know How to Move Forward Yet. So, sorry, if that resonates with you, please RSVP and please join in. That's February 15th, Sunday in the western part of the world, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. So, excuse me, I just had my lunch. So I have already drawn one other card here, and we're going to dive deeper into the card reading now with Sacred Rebels. This is a beautiful oracle deck, and the card I drew is called Free from Judgment, Free to Love. So look at how beautiful this card is, this image is. Look at her face. It's lit up, it's warm, it's at peace, introspective. It looks like she's like reflecting on something that's making her feel peace and joy, and that there's these beautiful lights surrounding her. So actually in my work as a spiritual life coach, this is one of the main things that I work on with people, is basically freeing ourselves from self-judgment, because it's so detrimental and is at the root of so much suffering. So when we can free ourselves from judgment, either on other people, on the world, on ourselves, then that frees us up to be able to love. So if there's some area of your life where you're judging yourself, or you're in harsh, critical judgment of others, this card is kind of speaking to that and giving you guidance that, judgment, to me, judgment is resistance, and it's blocking us from the sunlight of the spirit, which is love. So I'm going to see what the guidebook says. So this card is talking about mothering, interestingly enough. From the image and from the words, that doesn't come through, but the actual description is talking about mothering and allowing to be mothered. So it says, you are learning about this. You might not do this in a typical way. It might be through bearing children, but it could also be through adopting children, raising children, or otherwise taking care of children and loving them as if they were your own. You might also be learning how to mother on a rather different scale, working with groups, communities, causes, or purposes that need your devotion, energy, your belief in their value, and your willingness to be the wild tigress or the supportive shoulder to lean on in order to bring those worthwhile groups to life. You may also be an aspect of the universal mother on a spiritual level. Some are healers, some work in seemingly more ordinary professions. They have a mothering aspect in common, and they love and respect life. They believe in life and are moved by compassion and genuinely encouraging and respectful of people. So this card brings you confirmation that you're amongst the Universal Mother's special clan of nurturing spirits that help to honor life on this planet. And you're also being asked to open up to receive more nurturing. You can do this for yourself, and you can also choose to open up and allow others to nurture you. So this is about giving and receiving. This is about embodying that beautiful, loving, mothering energy, whatever that means for you, whatever that sort of divine feminine, soft, nurturing, supportive energy is. That you are to be a channel to be that, but also to allow yourself to receive that. So many of us on the spiritual path overgive, are codependent, and give, when we need to learn how to receive mothering. So there is a healing process in all of these cards have a little healing process with them. So I'm going to speak this out loud, and I invite you just to take this in if this message is resonating for you. It says to place your hand over your lower belly. So if you feel called, you can do that. And just take in these healing words. I now release from my body, mind, and heart any negative mothering experiences that would prevent me from receiving the healing grace, love, and support of the Universal Mother through the natural flow of life. May I be blessed and held in her loving embrace so that I may grow into all that I am. So be it. Now breathe in and out. As you breathe in, imagine you're drawing in the healing love of the Universal Mother. As you breathe out, feel your body release negative energy. You don't need to be conscious of exactly what's being released. You may sense the release as emotion or as a sludge leaving the body, and then you might not sense anything at all. Whatever happens is your own process, and it's just right for you. Now you can place your hands on your heart and send love to yourself. And just breathe that in and out. Welcome, Silverback. Thank you for joining. So in context of what the message in the guidebook is, you can see just what this beautiful mothering, nurturing, loving energy is. And I just invite you all, if there's any place within you, in your mind, in your heart, in your body, your soul, your spirit, where instead of a nurturing, loving mother energy, you have a critical, judgmental mothering energy, that you just notice that and love that, and just let that be there as well. And then just bring a little bit more of this beautiful energy in. So what a wonderful way to start this week's reading with this beautiful energy. Who else feels that? Just, it's a really loving, soothing, calm energy. Who needs that right now besides me? I know there's so much happening in the world astrologically. You know, we're almost, we're coming into an eclipse, a new moon, you know, Chinese New Year, snake year, horse year. All of that is culminating right now. Welcome, Bella D. You're welcome. So yeah, I really feel a beautiful presence here of a loving, nurturing mother. And actually that's gonna have me start and draw one of these cards. This is, oh my gosh, I haven't used these in a while. What is the name? Work Your Light. The Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. The last few times I drew from this deck, I got the card No. And I think the third time I'm like, okay, I think this deck wants to take a break. That's why it keeps saying no. But in light of this energy I'm tuning into, and I know a lot of these cards kind of match that energy, let's see. Let's see what we get. If we get another no, then I'll put the deck away. Okay. So we got align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? So where are you out of alignment with this loving, mothering energy? And it might be like a self-loving and a self-compassion energy that this mothering symbolizes for you. Your relationship with yourself. How do you mother yourself? How do you take care of yourself? How do you discipline yourself? How do you nurture yourself? How do you hold space? If you do that from a critical place, which will be the default for most of us if we didn't have a totally loving parent. Then we get to look at, where are you out of alignment? It's interesting, these two images together. We've got these faces that have some similarities. So it's like, what needs this loving here? What part of you is broken that really needs this healing, nurturing, self-loving, compassionate energy? Where are you out of alignment? Where are you out of integrity? What needs to go in your life? Where have you been putting a mask on and it's not working anymore, and it's like, I'm tired of the mask, and you're putting all this effort into masking in the world just to get by? So let me know if that lands for you. Give an emoji in the chat of what that brings up for you. For some of you, this might be like soul healing work. You can see these are fragments on this card of her face and body. So some of you need to do like a soul retrieval where you call back fragments of your soul that have been left or taken. And calling all of that back to you for some of you. Because this is draining you and it's draining your energy. And it's keeping you stuck. So if you can relate to this, I want to go ahead and offer that I do offer to those of you who've never had a gifted session with me before. I offer the gift of my visioning process to those that are new to me or never met me one-on-one in person, or not in person, but in a one-on-one session. If this is resonating with you, I invite you to reach out and schedule my visioning session process with me. It will be very helpful in bringing clarity and looking at kind of what's underneath this for you specifically. And it is a gift for those who haven't received a gifted session with me before. Thanks for sharing this, Olivia. Yeah, who else can relate to going into old patterns, people pleasing? Besides me, I can definitely relate. And I love that you brought that up, because to me this card also symbolizes that of like abandoning and betraying yourself, breaking your word to yourself, and then you suffer and you pay the consequences on the inside. And it's like in the moment when we say the people-pleasing thing, like maybe somebody might ask you to do something, you don't want to do it, but you say yes. And then you feel that familiar feeling like on the inside, knowing you were out of integrity and you didn't really want to do it. Like so many people aren't even aware of that. So I know you all are past that point. So now there's that beautiful sword of awareness. It's a double-edged sword where you see this. And you may, that's great, Danielle, true. You may need to practice. You may need to have the experience of, being misaligned. But eventually you will say no. And then you will be in alignment. What are you tolerating in your life? Where are you settling? This is a card that's symbolizing all of that. And it's like the medicine. First is this like right relationship with yourself, not making yourself bad and wrong. Maybe turning to a mothering figure. If you're lucky enough to have a mother that is this wonderful mothering energy, great. If not, then you can get that mothering energy from other connections, and of course ultimately with yourself. Bella D, Olivia, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I actually do want to pull up this card, the Align Your Life card, and Work Your Light, and see what that says. Align Your Life. Oh my gosh, Brooke. I am so sorry to hear that. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being so honest with us here. You are seen, you are heard, you are acknowledged and held with love. Yeah, I can't imagine how difficult that is. Hi, Monica. Thank you for your loving compassion. And Brooke, although I can't relate specifically to that, I can relate in that I was admitted to drug rehab centers at 17 years old. And my parents tried to put me in at 16. So I can speak to, of course there was mental health issues going on, but more substance abuse. But, I've been on the other side of that. And, yeah, just to share that, bring that into the room, know you're loved. And, yeah, where do you need to bring in this loving, mothering energy? What support do you need for yourself so that you can support your child? Yeah, thank you. So, and thank you, Brooke. So this message is really feeling like it's opening up this. We're diving into the layers and it's now focused with this card. So I want you all to take this in. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution and growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be, but there comes a time when it's harder to hold on to this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we've changed and align life to that way of being. If this card has been pulled, you are being called to let go of who you once were or the things you once defined yourself by, the job, relationship, and the mask you wore, and to embrace who you are truly now. To courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity, to embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Perhaps you've outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it's time to reassess and bring all the parts of your life into alignment so that they're congruent with who you truly are today. So, it mentioned the mask. I love when that happens. I always say you can't make this shit up. So we're going to get some further clarification here from Lightseer's Tarot and get a little bit more specific. So glad you all are here. Please follow me here on Insight Timer if you don't already, if you're joined in a little bit late. Some of you are facing choices. You're weighing options here with the Two of Pentacles. You're in a contemplation mode. How many of you can relate to that? That whatever this, question is, that it's causing you to reflect and think, wow, maybe there's some choices that I need to make here. A choice for a new beginning for some of you. So some of you are really deciding, do I start over? Do I start fresh? Do I totally let go and begin something brand new? This old way isn't working anymore. It's not going to work for me. And you're contemplating what it will take for you to start over. And I can tell you, this Fool card, it takes trust and faith and surrender. I mean, look, she's about to do a trust fall into this water. So it's like you're in contemplation mode. But it's like, how much longer do you want to keep living like this? Shattered, broken, out of integrity, masking. And it's like above all of it is this beautiful mothering energy that, this is kind of like over and all around and infusing this whole dynamic with this beautiful energy. So to show you're supported, you're not alone, you can also be your own inner support. Because you're afraid. You've had a lot of grief and anxiety, and you're shattered, some of you. You're so tired. You're full of anxiety, stress, nightmares. You're waking up at night. Your mind racing. You know you need to let go of something. You feel stuck, maybe you feel stuck between, as we say, a rock and a hard place. And the thing is, when you let go, what this was all holding together, because you're just like holding your shit together right now. And when you do finally let go, it's going to bring up the pain that you've been covering underneath. This mask is covering this grief. And yet it's time. So this is really, really deep and powerful reading, as I open the session with, this time astrologically right now, energetically and things. It's intense, and this reading is definitely reflecting that today. So know you're not alone. Yeah, look at all the heartbreak that's here. So, you know, these are all like what the surface stuff here. It's like coping mechanisms that you've had to use, some since childhood, to just keep your shit together, to make it through the day, to survive one day at a time, and you've done your best. But it's, you know, it's like, this is the letting go when something new happens, and this is like what's underneath. And when you surrender, for some of you this might be an addiction, a literal addiction, or an addictive habit, or a distraction, or a person, or something to where it's keeping this in place. So in the letting go, you're gonna have to confront the pain here, because you can't keep going on out of alignment. Olivia, I love this, that you asked this. Hi, Allie. Yeah, EFT tapping is a great thing for everything. And so Michael Singer, Olivia, do you know him? He wrote the Surrender Experiment. So his work is, to me, the most pure teaching on surrender. And it's not just his book, it's his talks. Please reach out to me one-on-one, and I'll share some things with you, some resources, and anyone else. And in my YouTube channel, all my live streams for my Insight Timer lives here are replays there, available for watching anytime. And I have them for a few years. So in the past, I have done live streams on Michael Singer's talks, where we listen to his talks and discuss them. And so there's some really powerful talks there, and we break down your question, Olivia. And you know what you're describing is so typical, part of the human experience. Having an intellectual understanding, but then having an experience are two different things. And it's like talking about riding a bike, or this is how you do it. You know, you put your foot over the side and blah, like, but to actually have the experience of it, you have to do it. So the words aren't going to translate into the experience. But if I could boil, and Michael Singer would boil his own teachings down to this one phrase, and I will too, he calls it relax and release. And it's very simple. And the mind doesn't like simple things. The mind wants a 10-step process with a bunch of bells and whistles. But surrender doesn't work that way. It's subtle, it's internal. Nobody can do it but you or for you. And first, it's having an awareness of, there's a sensation in my body. There's a constriction, there's a contraction, there's a tightness, there's some sort of resistance, somatically, experientially in the body. First, having the awareness that that's present. And how do you know that you have that awareness? Because there's this observer self, this one consciousness, this, you know, I am presence that we all are a part of, that is our true nature. From that witness consciousness, we can observe whatever's going on in our physicality. And we can observe, there's a tension. Okay. He calls it relaxing behind it. So this is like a multidimensional thing. We're multidimensional beings. So he says, relax behind that, whatever the tightness, constriction, pressure, tension, resistance. And you relax behind it. And he says, you come out of your mind. You cannot get lost in your thinking to do this. Then you're gone. He says, you come out of your mind, you come into your heart, you come into your body, and you just be that present witness, observer of whatever. For me, it's always here is where I feel it the most, in that chest heart area. You relax, and then you release. He says we have, it's an analogy, but like energetic hands inside of us, and we push things away that we don't want to feel. It's like these internal hands are pushing away our experience. So only we can take those hands away. And we make space, and we relax the body, we relax around the sensation, and then we release. It's a moment by moment process. So, I'm very passionate about that, and I love it. To me, it's the most pure spiritual practice, along with mindfulness, which does include everything that I just said. So when you feel this terrible heartbreak, when you feel this grief, nightmare, sadness, then you can do what I just said. And look, when you do that, you will transform that grief into transformation. So within this pain lies this. And you transmute it and transform it with your loving attention, this mothering energy for yourself. And you can even see, she's looking down. We could put these cards here. She's observing with love this part of the experience. We can't shame ourselves into making this go away. We can only love this part. And when we hold the space for that, then the transformation can occur. Hi, Angela. That is why I'm going to remind you over and over again. And it's a practice. And that's part of the beauty of coaching. I help my clients, we reground, we reorient, we continue to come back to these deep, simple truths. Because the mind forgets. We have years of conditioning and programming that we get to, and it's very possible to overcome. So, very powerful reading today. We're going to close with a few minutes of Reiki and Ancestral Clearing. I'm going to lift my computer and hope everything is fine. Okay. I don't have a fancy selfie light. I have a lamp. So, whoever cares to join in to the Reiki and clearing, I'm definitely going to do clearing, ancestral clearing on the energies and themes that came up in the reading. If anybody wants a one-on-one personalized reading, that's a service I offer, and you can send me a private message. I also do Reiki and Ancestral Clearing. And as I said, if you haven't received a gifted session with me, I'm offering you my powerful visioning process. It's a deep coaching session. It actually is usually 2 sessions, and we will dive deep into, where you're stuck. We'll dive deep into this, whatever this is for you, and we'll bring in this, loving witness, and then we'll bring in the other cards of where you want to go. So, let's close our eyes gently together. Settle into your body as I activate the Reiki energy. And just allow yourself to receive this energy if you care to. You can gently, slowly, easily bring your awareness back to your body. Gently open your eyes if you would like. Thank you, Angela, for your kind words about working together. Very deep healing today. We're working at a very deep level with what's coming up. So I really invite you all to just bring that gentle, loving, mothering energy, call on it. You know, from the Great Mother, ancestors, guides, whatever, and also call on it within yourself. Free from judgment, free to love. Wonderful, Olivia. Thank you for your presence. Thank you to everybody who joined, who commented, or even if you didn't say a word, you are seen. You are welcomed. If you feel the heart's call to reach out one-on-one, you can do so here through my profile. There's a link in my About Me section, or you can just find me online everywhere. And I appreciate your following, your donation. If you care to make a donation, if this was helpful, it helps me to continue the work that I do. And as I said, we will have a live on Sunday morning, as always. And this will be a topic when you can't go back but don't know how to move forward yet. So that could be about something specific, or just about, you know, if you're awakening and you're having new levels of awareness and you can't unsee what you're seeing. This is for you. Hi, Danielle. Great question. Let me look at my calendar because that will give the answer. So it would have been January 25th. And yes. And you can send me a message. I can send you the link. So in my channel, because I'm in there now live streaming this same thing. It's showing up in both places. So when we end this over there, it will be automatically uploaded as a video, but it will be in the live section. So there's a video section and a live section. So you want to go to that live tab in my channel. And that's where you would find all of the replays. Well, for the past year. If anything's older than a year, then they're as a video. But yeah, look for that. Yes. Everything, everywhere is my name. And usually it has an M for my middle initial, Natalie M. Speakman. So thank you. Thank you for the donation. Did I just say that? M as in Marie, my middle name. So yeah, this was a really powerful transmission today. I hope it was valuable for you all. Oh, wow, another synchronicity with us. South Carolina and middle name. Lovely. So yes, as I said, if any of you feel the heart call to connect one-on-one for the gifted visioning process, where we will deep dive into, whatever came up for you today, around themes of where do you feel out of alignment, where do you want to feel like this in your future, what's in the way, what you can do, get altitude on that, and be very powerful. And I do offer, as I said, my Reiki Ancestral Clearing and card readings like this one-on-one as a service. So yeah, follow your intuitive guidance on reaching out. Hi Jude, you are very welcome. I'm glad it was helpful. So glad for everybody joining in today. I will see you all Sunday morning in the Western Hemisphere, in other times of day in other parts of the world. So, yes, I truly appreciate all of your presence, all of your participation, or just your presence and energy, your gratitude, your support, donations, following me, and all of that. It means a lot, and it supports me to continue to support here and everywhere and everything that I do. Very grateful for Insight Timer. I've been on this app for 13 or something years. So I've seen the app evolve, and I have evolved along with the app, as we all have in our own ways. So have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Namaste.